Real Race Talk. It's the Revved Up Sports Show talking local, regional, and national action. Here's Bobby Chaffee and Rodney Rodriguez.
Rolling, my man.
There we are, dude. Back together again.
How about that? Here we are. It is hashtag Real Race Talk, the Revved Up Sports Show. On a Monday. No, it's not Monday.
What the hell is it? Wednesday? Hump day?
Today's Wednesday, Bobby. And I got to tell you, I'm glad we're doing this today because if you're a sports fan, today has been a fucking crazy day, brother. Today has absolutely been great. Great.
We got NFL coaches getting fired. One of the greatest coaches in the history of college football is retiring. That would make your a loyal audience there cry. We had to do kind of a welfare check on a couple of people on social media when they found out that Saban was retiring, make sure they weren't cutting wrists or anything. So
yeah.
Other than that, man, it's it's been alive and well the last couple of weeks. Nice Christmas break off. I know that you had a good time heading out to New Orleans there for the Sugar Bowl and kind of just chilling out, and look like we're reset, ready to roll for the new year.
Yeah, other than the game, it was a good time over there. But yeah, with Saban, with Pete Carroll, with all that going on, I mean, it's definitely been something else. But speaking of something else, we're gonna have a lot of fun tonight because I want to. I guess what was it, about a week and a half ago? We saw that Jennifer Kidd was taking over the San Antonio reunion page, and it looks like everything has kind of gone crazy with all of that, where people getting more involved and it's. Yeah, and it's perfect timing. It's perfect timing, by the way, for that to happen. It kind of in the off season right there. So coming up here in a little bit, coming up at 7:00 here on your Wednesday, this dude right here, Eddie Wallace, is going to check in. We're going to have some great conversations with Eddie. I think that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a lot of fun. So Bobby, you Chili Bowl ready, man? You ready for Saturday night to watch about 18 hours of racing? Jeez Louise.
Not yet. I'll probably be ready after the Texans lose to the Browns, as hot as the Browns are coming in.
I don't know, dude.
So it depends. We'll see.
I don't know.
I just wish it would start sooner than midnight, the A-Main. I know that they got to do track prep and all of that, and I get that that's important and all that, but you just can't have the A-Main starting at like 11:45.
I agree. I know it's a showcase event and so forth, but it's everything that I bitch about with racing. I mean, it takes forever. I mean, and I saw, so I guess, Larson's coming back. I think I saw Rick Stenhouse Jr. is going to be racing as well. So I guess it's amping up a little bit. They should fucking make them be there from the beginning. You can't just show up on the last prelim day and race. Come on, man. What's that all about? Plus, why is there so many days? Yeah, it's like the asphalt thing. Well, you're there all day. You got to spend the weekend there. I'm just kidding. It's all good. It's going to be a lot of fun.
I hope so. I mean, every year the Chili Bowl delivers some kind of unique story for somebody's unique circumstance. This year be no different. Just going to depend on who's going to win it, who's in it. I think you're going to see a surprise winner this year for sure with the Chili Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Lots of comments already coming in. Our man Chris Birmingham checking in. And also, yes, indeed, time for the Wild West shootout, as that will be going on as well. My man Fred Tello checking in as well. So yeah, your comments, if you have them as we're going throughout the show, and if you have stuff for Eddie tonight when he jumps on, be sure and drop those comments as well. Bobby, I have after we talk to Eddie, I've got I got something really cool to drop for next Monday, and this just happened. That's why my camera wasn't on. I was actually working on that, so it's like fresh off the press. The ink is still drying, so we'll do that after Eddie talking about what's going to be going on right there.
That's good. I like it when you surprise me. Then I'm just as surprised as everybody else when I find out the news.
I know. Yeah. I think it'll be a hell of a good time. I think it'll be a hell of a good time with what we got going on with that one coming up here a little bit later on. Dan Carroll checking in as well. Hello, Dan. I've seen Dan pretty involved on that San Antonio page as well. I think I saw that he said he actually didn't get to see races there at SAS, but yeah, you missed some good stuff. Bobby IROC. I really like what Ray Evernham and so forth, what they're doing right there. The re-energized or the rebranding. Well, I guess they bought the branding and all that. So IROC coming back, I think that'll be pretty cool. Real curious to see what that's supposed to be like. Everything that I've heard about for this year, it's going to be maybe just, bringing back some of the old cars, which I think that'll fucking be really cool. So that'll be cool. But how this will progress, I think will be cool to see with IROC.
Yeah, I mean, I think when you buy the intellectual property of something, I think you get the opportunity to bring in some new ideas and stuff like that. Everybody's first idea is, well, wait a minute, what the hell? This has got to be the same thing that SRX was when Ray Evernham and Tony Stewart and Don Hawk started their deal. Yep. So now you got a guy with millions of dollars like Rob Kaufman involved. No telling what it's going to be. The first thing was like, well, what the hell are they going to race? Who's going to? The Camaro's dead. Well, they're going to get a bunch of Mustangs. You're not going to see an IROC Mustang. Yeah, you're definitely not going to see that anywhere since IROC is synonymous with a Camaro.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, one thing that I hope is, because towards the end of IROC, I mean, you remember when it came back. I mean, in the mid '80s, when it even happened then to where it was very heavy NASCAR. It was the NASCAR guys, it was the NASCAR tracks and all that. I mean, what I'd really like to see is some sort of car that would be more tailored to some of the non-NASCAR guys, and it's so hard nowadays. I don't know if you can get back to when you had AJ Foyt and Richard Petty and David Pearson and Dan Gurney and Emerson Fittipaldi and all these guys. I mean, I don't know if you can do that these days, but I don't want it to be so NASCAR centric. I mean, I want it to be to where it's a true international race of champions. I mean, you can lay out different dream fields that you could have in IROC, and I just don't know if that'll happen or not. But I think it's very dependent on the car. If it's like the damn NASCAR race car, I mean, forget that shit. I mean, just run a NASCAR race. Look what SGV did.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's going to be the key, dude. Is going to be what's going to happen with the car, what all they're going to be able to do with it. I mean, even NASCAR today, they made their short track package. They changed everything but the horsepower, and everybody's still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And I saw today, with all of that came out. So I don't know. Abel checking in. Abel, no. You are somebody, my friend. You and your family are somebodies in racing. So don't be saying that kind of stuff right there. But that is really cool with that San Antonio thing, that we're getting to see all of those folks coming out of the woodwork right there that are being a part of that and talking about cool stuff. And there's your point right there. What Dan's talking about. It's going to be very similar to IROC. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, I like the vintage idea. I want to see some of those cars come out, the Porsches and the Camaros. Like I said, not so much the Firebirds and all that we saw towards the end of IROC and the rejuvenation or whatever you want to call it. But if you can have a true international race of champions of what it used to be, I think that would be awesome.
It's going to be hard with these lockdown sponsorship deals and manufacturer contracts and stuff like that. It's going to be pretty damn hard.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I saw right there, I'll pull it up again. Magic Mike Knott said decals in the mail for us, and I saw him putting those on some of his race cars. Again, we want to give a huge thanks. Had a great conversation today with my man, James Cole, On Demand Shirts. Obviously, wearing one of those. Bobby is as well. Working on plans for 2024. Definitely continuing that partnership there with those great folks. And really looking forward to the cool things that are going to be happening right here. Here's a dude that can talk some IROC right here, our man Les Kaiser, talking about IROC 1974 with the Porsches, and that's the ones that I want to see. One of the coolest ones that I saw, Bobby, I think it was a Riverside race, late 70s, where Bobby Allison was out there, and he knocked the ass end off of one of those cars, and I think he concussed himself pretty good. And he came back and he got in one of the what was the better car, came back and won the next day, where it was a two race thing. Really cool stuff if you go back and watch some of the old original IROC stuff.
Yeah, all the old stuff. Everybody still remembers the Camaros, the Firebirds. I remember when they brought out the Dodge Avengers.
Oh,
that was unique when they had Dodge. They had the Dodge Chargers before they became the Chargers that they are now. The little short wheelbase Dodge Chargers. So lots of good stuff in IROC. I think it's going to be just like everything else. It depends on your genre of which you watched and enjoyed the series. I remember watching it during the Firebird. That's kind of up my alley. You're old school. You like it from the early days of the Camaros in the early 80s and early 80s up to mid 80s right in there. So I think it's like everything else when it comes to the retro stuff. It's going to depend on which era in which you watched it. So, and IROC's got a history. I mean, they got a hell of a history right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
74 years of IROC right there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I think it's one of those things to where if you could get a couple of IndyCar guys, some Formula One guys, some NASCAR guys, but I mean, that's a lot to pull off. I mean, I'll tell you where they should have the first race should be at COTA. I think that would be great. I mean, that's kind of that diverse racetrack where you get Formula One guys. I mean, maybe some IndyCar experience. Some of those guys have run there, if once counts. Some NASCAR guys, maybe some Xfinity guys and ladies. I think that would be a great place. Let's start it right here in Austin, the International Race of Champions, at a international world-class facility, being Circuit of the Americas. How about that?
It's possible. Anything's possible. We never thought we'd see NASCAR at COTA to begin with because we thought they were going to block it up at TMS, and lo and behold, now we got 2 dates in Texas, one at COTA, one in Fort Worth.
Yeah.
Well, for now, still got the Fort Worth date anyway.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be something to watch. So, Bobby, as we like we said, first show of 2024. So, diving in here, let's kind of, and what do we have? We got about 15 minutes to Eddie Wallace coming up, top of the hour, 7:00. We'll talk with him. As we go into 2024, let's kind of tailor this thing back maybe to the short track scene, to our scene here in Texas. What are some of the things, in your opinion, that we're kind of looking at right here? We talk all the time on here about with scheduling and so forth, and that continues to be, with the various tracks battling. You only have X amount of dates. So here we go. Modifieds, I know there's going to be a little bit of a shift here with the modifieds. Factory stocks continue to be what they are. We got 11 dates on the pavement in Houston. What are you kind of thinking is going to be the landscape of 2024 for short track racing here in the state of Texas?
Well, I really think that the way that it's going to be determined is what's going to happen in Houston. A lot of the guys on the asphalt scene are now involved in the dirt scene pretty hot and heavy. Because out of no choice of their own, because if you wanted to be involved in racing, you had to be involved with dirt track because that's all there was, right?
Yeah.
Except for maybe a handful of races in Houston over the course of the last 6 years. Mm-hmm. This is the closest we're ever going to get in recent memory to Houston. The end of that show there in 2023, there was all kind of momentum that you hadn't felt in Houston in about 15 years. Mm-hmm. So that was a really good feeling to have there in Houston. So I think that's going to be the key. I think at least for us, I know that our show, obviously, we spot centric, and as we got lower and lower and lower, it became the tracks became lower and lower and lower number. We didn't have much choice but to copy over to dirt, and we both ended up having to change our announcing styles going to dirt versus some of the pavement stuff that we've done in the past. So I think Houston is going to be the pivot point to the scene, at least from Central Texas and southward, because you got Owen involved with 3 tracks now, 4 if you count the go-kart track, but that's not running yet, coming up on the 3rd of February. So that to me is going to be the determining factor of at least racing basically from Waco south.
Yeah. It. I mean, that really is a big thing. I was actually talking to someone from up in the Carolinas last week, and we were talking about the whole asphalt thing with Texas and so forth. And to me, that's something that's going to be really that kind of is the thing that so many folks have transferred over or have made the move over to dirt. So for Houston, yes, I love the amount of dates, but still we're going to get back into this is on the asphalt side what we're talking about right here. Still, I think I mean I'm sorry, I think we need to trim the fat. Trying to figure out the classes and so forth. I totally get the what the bootlegger and all of that. Man, I think it's time to try something else. I mean, incorporate maybe the factory stock. I know, I mean, neither one of those really, set the world on fire in 2023, but the factory stocks only had, 1-2 shots at it. So I don't know. I think that's something that's going to be important. But the positive sides are when you look at, let's take Pensacola, for example, they don't, I mean, they run the modifieds of mayhem, but they don't run modifieds consistently where Houston will run modifieds consistently. And it's okay. I mean, it's a fair car count. Pensacola can't run the trucks every race. I think they're running 4 times in Pensacola on a full race schedule for Pensacola and Mobile. Mobile seems to do okay with those, but Houston doesn't have a truck problem. So Houston seems to be in a really good spot with the divisions that are lacking over on the coast, which is kind of weird.
Well, I think that King in Texas, just because of the fact that, granted, we copied the Craftsman Truck Series and the Art Series back in the day, but obviously the trucks in Texas, that's when Ricky Brooks was coming up and helping Tech at Houston in the early 2010s. He liked what he saw there in Houston, and that's why the truck class in Pensacola. Promoters are not stupid. There's a reason why there's a whole bunch of Crown Vic classes now. We did it years ago in the Grand Stocks, having Crown Vics race against each other's and Malibus and all kind of stuff like that. But, now you're getting the Crown Vic classes that have 30 to 40 cars per night. Factory stocks here on dirt in Texas. The promoters aren't stupid. They're going to cater races and cater purses is going to be, hey, if I see money, you see money floating down the street, you got to try to grab it or else it's just going to blow away and you're not going to get it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the thing. That's where the trucks kind of came into their own. Let's get some of their big purses, but it's it's just going to be a challenge. Every year is a challenge to determine what you're going to run, what you're not going to run, and I just think that that still remains a challenge there for all the classes, minus the big mods on dirt for the South Texas modified deal.
Yeah, no doubt. You guys, thank you for scanning that QR code. There it is right there. And what that is, that takes you right to the Revved Up site. And what you can do right there is you can listen to all of these shows live. You can actually go there and catch the archive stuff. All of that's there, even the audio podcast, all that shit is right there. So just scan that right there. You can actually save that, I think, as a one of those little things on your phone. You can actually do that right there. So be sure and utilize that as well. So continuing to evolve our little program right here. Bobby, you sent something last night, I think it was. One of the old school, it's like an old school photo of us, man. And damn, this show has kind of changed a little bit in the last, however many seasons it's been.
It's changed a bit. I don't know what we were laughing at that day, but I remember that popping up as a Facebook memory and sent that to you. I got some other old ones that I found during some of these Facebook memories that pop up where we had the 2 different size tables and the board right there in the middle, and tried a couple of different intervention ways to make this stuff work, but it's we're still the little show that could, still making it work, as we are the original and the award-winning racing show in Texas.
Got a lot of people doing it right now, and a lot of people do it, and they do it extremely well, and that's good. But it is kind of cool that it's come a long way in a lot of seasons. I was having to do something the other day for something with Dirty Air, and they were like, so what season is this? I'm like, fuck, I don't know, I just count the episodes. And I started thinking back to this. I'm like, holy shit. So this, for you and I, this would be what season if we were counting it via seasons?
6 or 7, I'll tell you.
Oh, gotta be more than that.
I gotta be on my phone. I think it's season 7.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, because this was right around the time. Remember, we thought it was going to be so important because we had these grand plans.
For a week.
2016, we were going to go the length of the NASCAR playoffs. Remember, we were going to go 10 weeks, and it was right around that time. I think what really catapulted the show was, remember, Kyle closed down, and it was like, well, shit, I guess we got to keep going because, there wasn't any way to keep up with anything. But been a hell of a good run, and it's good to be doing it again in 2024. So one of the things that I'm looking forward to is back to the topic there about 2024 with short track stuff around here. I'm really hoping for a rebound, and we've had so many great conversations on here with guys in the modifieds. I'm really hoping for a big ass rebound, not rebound, but I'm hoping for a continued resurgence for the big mods is what I'm looking for, to be honest.
That'd be great. I mean, that'd be great to have.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here it is. September 20th. The first show was September 20th, 2016.
2016. Damn. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Season 8, dude.
8.
This is season 8.
Once a week, almost. I think this last break we had is probably the longest break we've ever had in 8 years of doing the show.
Shit, this is twice as long as my first marriage. Holy shit. You're a lot cooler than she was.
That's good.
I don't think she watches the show.
I don't think she does either.
She doesn't want to see my face, I can promise you. So speaking of the modifieds right there it is. Stim's racing schedule should be out soon. And that was, and I'm glad we got to be one of the breakers of that right there. That was really cool right there. That kind of got the momentum going right there.
As long as Jacob and them remember to release the schedule here, that'd be great too.
That's right. That's exactly right. My man, Todd, I hope you're doing well. Hope everything is going well for you there, my friend. Billy, what are we saying? Jamie Thomas and Brandy. Yes, I saw that. I saw that yesterday. So, or I think I saw it this morning. So kind of keep those folks in your thoughts and however you know, feel for people. Really sad thing right there. And I'll tell you, guys, you need to bundle up because that cold is coming, and it's about to get a little spicy around here with the cold, my man.
The news forecast changed again. It's not coming in Sunday night, and it's supposed to be cold as hell come Monday and Tuesday. So,
damn. Speaking of that, my man Billy, well, from Kansas, preparing. See. How great is this? I mean, we get them all the way to Kansas. I found out from a lot of, from Max Calles and all of his great folks right there. We have a tremendous following in Mexico that we talked about, Bobby. So we're kind of nationwide, my brother. Kind of nationwide, my friend.
Slowly but surely, we're conquering the racing world.
Yes, slowly but surely.
Slowly.
Conquering the racing world. So yeah, I think with the big mod thing, I think the Stims that's really going to be something that I think is going to be a good spark right there. That'll kind of keep the momentum going. I think it's extremely important for the big mods to continue to flourish or to begin to flourish once again. And I'm really looking forward to that and to have them kind of traveling around, from different spots to where it can be a thing where when the modifieds are around, that can kind of be, I mean, it's not going to be the same thing as having the sprint cars around, but it can be one of those things to where it's a big mod show, and that's something that's going to bring fans out. And because it never lacks for excitement. That's for damn sure when it comes to the modifieds.
I think it adds to the allure of the show. No doubt about it. I mean, when you have the racing that should, in theory, follow the South Texas IMCA modified tour, with the guys that we've heard are going to run it and the guys we have a fairly good idea are going to run in it. When those guys get together, whether it's at a Cotton Bowl, at a Texana, at a South Texas Race Ranch, Waco, wherever the case may be, when some of them guys get together, they put on some damn good show. Nothing less from this touring series for the South Texas Big Mods.
Totally agree. Before Eddie Wallace comes on, we were talking about on-demand shirts. They have all the cool gear right here. I was talking, like I said, talked to James Cole earlier. They can help you guys out with all of your racing stuff. How about a quick word from our friends at On-Demand Shirts out of San Antonio? How about that? That's racers helping racers right there, Bobby. That's what it's all about. That is what
I can't wait to order my hoodie. I should have ordered it already, so it'll be ready and prepared for this cold front.
Ooh, man, that's right.
Day late and a dollar short. I should have ordered my hoodie a while back.
Yeah,
I didn't order it yet, but I got to get with James so he can make me one.
Was talking. One of the things that he and I talked about today is you got. I mean, you folks, if you know me, you know that I'm horrible when it comes to the mail and sending things. It's like I'm terrible with doing that. We talked today. One of the things coming in 2024 with those great folks, it's going to be the online store for this show, handled by them, not handled by me. So that's all of you guys that have reached out to me that I keep telling you I'm sending you a cap. Yeah, it's sitting over there. I just haven't sent it. But they're going to help take care of that. Tim says, yeah, Jose Moore. I want to thank Jose Moore. That's a fellow Lockhartite right there, a 1989 Lockhart line. He actually helped us more clean. I always say, Tim, be sure and tell him this, that I always say good clean is okay. More clean is better. He was actually one of our travel partners over to Louisiana. So thank you to Jose Moore right there for being a part of that. Really cool stuff. More clean, great folks. And yes, they would be more than welcome to sponsor this little shit show.